Is it hard to access affordable, healthy food? Then listen carefully. Daryl Addison, an African-American inventor, has patented a process for growing food on demand. He called it Torpedo Pot. Torpedo Pot is a fully automated flower pot that gives you control over your plant's environment. All you do is add soil, seeds, and plants to the flower pot and watch it grow. Yes, Torpedo Pot grows the rest. Visit www.torpedopot.com.
So there's an update to the story with Miya Ponsetto, if you remember that story. So it was, she ended up accusing a young brother of stealing her phone. She has accepted a plea deal to avoid going to jail. How does she get a plea deal? But once again, this is that black representation matters because that was a black DA. But let me continue. It said the terms of the plea required her to admit to committing a hate crime against the then 14-year-old, but can revisit it in a couple of years, provided she stays out of trouble. Now, I wonder if she would have done that to an Asian person. I wonder if she would have got no jail time. I'm just curious. I'm very, very curious because what I'm seeing now is that if you do something to an Asian person, something's going to be done. But black people, see, this is what I'm talking about. When they talk about hate crimes against black people, it's through the roof and nothing happens to people, especially in their persuasion. Let me say that. Now, I say on Monday, April 11th, Miya Ponsetto pleaded guilty to an unlawful imprisonment in the second degree as a hate crime, a Class E felony charge for the December 26, 2020 altercation involving minor Keon Harold Jr. Now, the young brother was staying at the Arlo Soho Hotel in New York City with his father, a professional jazz musician. It said during the holiday season when he encountered the California native. Now, the then 22-year-old believed without any evidence the young brother stole her iPhone. I wonder why she believed that. It said as a result, she physically detained him by tackling him to the ground in the hotel's lobby and verbally assaulted him. And said the boy's father, Keon Harold Sr., recorded the incident on his phone and could be heard on the video repeatedly trying to convince the woman that his son did not take her property. Additional footage from the security video providing a different angle of the assault. They say it was released by the NYPD. And in the video, the young brother is seen trying to escape her clutch. It said, but instead falls when she tackles him to the ground. Now, the missing phone was actually located in an Uber. It said, and returned to her by the social media name, she was also dubbed Soho Karen. Now, they say at first, Ponsetto seemed to show regret for accusing the young man of stealing. She later gave mixed messages when she apologized during an interview with Gayle King, if you remember that. She was expressing disbelief in Uber. He said she was in, miraculously had it. Say her attorney told, he said the journalist, her client went off script. That's funny when they tell people about being on script. It said, she said that so maybe it wasn't him, but at the same time, how is it so that as soon as I get asked to leave the premises after I was accused this person of stealing my phone, how is it that all of a sudden they just miraculously have my phone when I come back? Because you idiot, you left it in the Uber. They told you I don't know how many times in the video, call your phone. It was just that simple. The front desk will call your phone. The dude didn't have your phone. And this particular plea deal is a piece of crap. You should be going to jail. Now, continuing, they say to the host, she also claimed, talking about Gayle King, that the young brother was close in age, despite her being almost a decade older, when asked to consider how traumatized a minor may have been. He said he's 14. He said that's what they're claiming. He said, yeah, I'm 22. I've lived probably just the same amount of life. Like, honestly, I'm just a kid at heart as he is. They're always a kid. You know what I'm saying? They could be 40 years old. He's just a kid. That's how they try to portray themselves. But a little black boy is 5 years old. They're treating him, they say he's a man. Or a little 10-year-old black boy, they call him a man. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. They do that to justify harming black children. Let me say that. So the hours after she was interviewed, said she was arrested in Ventura County, California for the incident. Now, the original charges were attempted robbery and grand larceny for trying to take the iPhone, acting in a manner injurious to a child because of the boy's age, and 2 counts of attempted assault, it said, for grabbing and knocking him down. It said the deal took those charges, it said, off the table. It said the terms of the deal she was offered and accepted required her to stay out of trouble for 2 years under the probation terms of a different case in California. It said it was mandated she attends counseling sessions and avoids further interaction with the criminal justice system. Should she abide by these terms, she'll be allowed to replead her charge, go back to the courts, and file a new plea based on an agreement that would reduce the count to aggravated harassment. It's in the second degree, a class A misdemeanor. It said the first charge will be removed from her record. It said if for some reason she doesn't comply, she faces up to 1 1/3 to 4 years in a New York State prison. Now, black people, they would have got all those charges, original charges. You know that. And they would have had to do a plea deal on the original charges. Now, I said Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, they gave a statement about her behavior, calling it outrageous. Dude, you made a plea deal with her. You didn't give her no jail time. Stop. He gonna continue to say, as a black man, I have personally experienced racial profiling countless times in my life, and I sympathize with the young man victimized in this incident. He's talking about the plea ensures appropriate accountability for Ms. Ponsetto by addressing underlying causes for her behavior, ensuring this conduct does not reoccur. Now, it's going to reoccur because she got no jail time, dude. But if the roles were reversed, if the role was a reverse, and it was a white DA, and it was a little white teenage boy and a 22-year-old black girl, that black woman would have got time. She would have got time, and she would have been stuck with those charges. See, this is that black representation matters that I tell y'all about. These black politicians don't do nothing for black people. All you had to do was follow the law, kept the charges that she had, and put her behind in jail. That would have taught her something. So they said Miya Ponsetto, they said it struck the plea deal that would allow her to dodge jail time. And it was revealed that her attorney, Paul Diamila, indicated his client wanted to proceed with the deal, but she'd have to fly back to New York to actually enter the plea in person. Now, the Young Brothers attorney, Benjamin Crump, believes the deal is an example of a discriminatory system that is broken. He said, taken to Twitter to call the plea offer highly disappointing, and said, we won't change the culture until we hold people accountable for their outrageously bad behavior. See, Benjamin Crump understands the term culture, and it is a culture. I'm glad more people are starting to realize that. It's not racism, it's a culture. Now, they're pleased with the plea deal. They're cool with it. They said that, it was just an unfortunate misunderstanding. That's all it was. But now, she gets to go work as a receptionist in Southern California. And, they say that she's leading a exemplary life since the incident, with the young brother about 1.5 years ago. But the Harrell family said that they're going to have their day in court with her. They said because they are filing a civil lawsuit with the Supreme Court of New York. It said last March listed Ponsetto. It said Arlo Soho Hotel, its owner company, Quadrum Hospitality Group, hotel manager Chad Nathan, and others as defendants claiming racial profiling in violation of New York City human rights law and New York State human rights law. They say the suit also accuses her of assault, battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress, false imprisonment, negligence, and loss of service. Well, since she pleaded to this, then it should be a slam dunk with the civil case. But how much you really gonna get out of her in a civil case? Because she looked like she broke 99. She probably is. So unless you're gonna be chasing her down like 50 Cent, now you may get money for sure out the hotel. You will probably get that. So that'll probably be the best person to get your bag. But her, I don't really see that. But yeah, this is a messed up end to this story. She gets no jail time, none, and she attacked the young brother. This is what we talk about, that privilege in America. This is exactly what we're talking about. The privilege is I can do whatever I want to do to black people, and I'm going to get a just slap on the hand. Now, don't do that again now. All right, go back and live your life. But a black person, first offense, you want to throw him in jail. Make no sense. But leave me a comment, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know exactly, how you feel about Miya Ponsetto. Imagine if that was your child. It was your son. Imagine that. How would you feel that you got a black DA doing all this talking about is outrageous and as a black man, all that talking, and then he didn't give her no jail time at all? Would you imagine that? That is so sick and that's sad. The people that voted him in thinking that he gonna do what he's supposed to do. Like I said, just follow the law. I'm not saying to any kind of preferential treatment. Just follow the law when people do things like that. That's what law's on the books for. But just imagine that was your son. I would be so pissed off about that. Really pissed off. But leave us also, click the like button, subscribe as well. That way you keep up exactly when we're posting new content. Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out the African Diaspora News Channel app in the Google Play and Apple App Store.